Okay, it's day 30, and now it's time to kind of sit with everything that has happened in the last 30 days and probably in the last however long you were in the relationship with this person. The purpose of the 30 days is to get you a little bit removed from the addiction to that person, really, because it really feels like that. And it gets you to a place of a little more clarity. Like you're not great, you're not feeling happy, you're not missing them, but you are at a place where you can really look back and look at that relationship and start to see it for what it actually was and make some really good decisions at this point. So, of course, let's get the first thing out of the way. What is your ex feeling right now? Well, if you came right out of that breakup, the ex is starting to feel like they're wondering what it is you're doing. They're missing you. Don't believe for one second people don't miss the person they were with. There were so many things about you that this person absolutely loved. And if you sit with yourself, you can think of every one of them. So put that to rest. Of course they miss you. They're going to start feeling the loss of you, and you brought a lot to that relationship. And it doesn't matter if they're with somebody new right now. They don't get to leap over that. So the loss is there, the missing. There usually it's 3 to 6 months after the breakup that the person kind of sits with if they made the right decision or not. So even if they start missing you at this point, there could be a little way to go before they get to that place of evaluating whether or not, well, what they want to do with this breakup. On the other hand, if you were in some sort of contact with your person for a period after the breakup, they're absolutely feeling the loss even deeper and really sitting with, oh, did I make the right decision and where do I go from here? So communication is probably going to be on the horizon because 30 days out of this, it's enough time for everything to settle. So even if you had a really messy breakup, even if you said things to each other that, you wish you didn't, this is plenty of time for all that messiness to have calmed down, and everybody is in a much better state of mind and ready for more communication than they would have been right out of the breakup. So I'm going to do a little bit on how to reach out if you choose to do that, how to communicate at this point, and what we get out of that, what we want to get out of that communication. So right now, let's go over a few of the things you should be sitting with out of this breakup. And I even took some notes because it's a lot. But first, you're going to look at you as a couple. Did your value system align? And this, to me, is one of the most basic, crucial elements needed to build the foundation for an incredible relationship that will last a lifetime. So start to really consider, did you have self-respect? Did you have mutual respect? Did you have a trustworthiness there? Were you both committed at a certain level? How was the compassion, the kindness, the empathy? Start to look at integrity. Really start to look at the character of the person you were with and yourself, because this breakup cracked you wide open. There's no doubt about it. So you're not only sitting with where they may have come up a little bit short, but you're also sitting where you came up a little bit short. So sit with every piece of a person's character that is important to you. So the value system is number one. You're really going to think about this because character is very hard to change. It takes a ton of work. It takes the insight, and it takes someone doing something about it. It's not something that someone says, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm going to try harder. No. This has to be, I see where I come up short. I see where I need work, and this is what I'm going to do to get there. Because you cannot be very different with your value system if you're going to go a lifetime. You have to be in the same range. You can have differences, but the compromise has to be there, and you have to be working on the goals together to grow together, because your whole goal as a couple is to grow together. So is one growing and one not? That's a really big thing to look at. Value system, absolutely number one. Then you start to look at skill set in a relationship. And this is a big one too. We start to look at what do people bring into the relationship as far as their skill set goes. Do they avoid conflict? Because maybe that was something that they grew up with. People didn't really have healthy communication, and so they avoid conflict. You're going to have a hard time resolving problems with someone who doesn't bring you a problem or want to discuss a problem. So where are they when it comes to avoiding conflict? These are things that can absolutely be worked on. Remember, skills can always be worked on. There's a great possibility of changing a skill set, much more so than changing like a basic character. That's a tough one. So what else do we have in skill set? Childhood trauma. Did they bring in some childhood trauma? Did you bring in some childhood trauma? Did that bubble over into the relationship and it hasn't really been dealt with? That's something that if you get back together again, you're going to have to deal with that. So did you do some of that work in in this like separation, or are you on that journey? Are you on the road? We're not going to fix ourselves in one day. Did they start to work on some of that, or did they kind of just fluff it off and get on with life? That's really important too, because if you get back together again, these are things that are going to have to happen. So a few of the other things: fight or flight. When there is a problem, did one of you fly the coop and the other one stood to fight? And I'm guessing that is the truth. When you face a problem as a couple, you have to lean in. You cannot self-protect and run away from the problem. It's really important that if you get back together again, you each have to say to each other, look, we're together in this. If we have a problem, we're doing this together. We don't have to do it separately. So really make a committed effort to say, I know I'm a fighter, because you're probably still wanting in that relationship, so you know you are. Are they? Because that has to be something that they really come around about. And it's important. Your life is going to be full of ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. You need people who are fully committed every single day to say, we're going to make this work. We are making it work. This relationship is worth it. I got it. I'm courageous enough. I'm doing this. So get somebody who doesn't quit. That's another one. Emotionally available. Are they emotionally available? Were you working with someone, or were you? So start to we're looking at each person here, because things have to change. Were you emotionally available to this person, or were they with you? And if they weren't, how do we get there as a couple? These things have to happen. They have to be talked about. So if you start thinking about the two of you as a couple, take your pros and cons list, take your values, what's really important to you. You're not going to compromise on values. You're just not. No, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. So take that and look at that. And then look at the skill set. Where were you good? Where were you not so good? Where were they the same? So these are all the things that if you have conversation and you start to discuss whether or not you're going to get back together, or if you're making this choice all on your own, these are the things you're going to be looking at and really weighing, because now you don't need this person like you needed oxygen before. They were something that you needed. They were familiar. They were your person. They were a habit at times. So now you know that you can live without this person in your life. You can survive. You're not happy. You're not doing well right now, but you're surviving this. So now you know you can survive without this person. So now you're in a position to say, do I want this person? I don't need this person anymore. Do I want this person? And you've probably had enough time. You went at least 30 days, some people a lot longer than that, to decide for yourself. Do you jump back because it's familiar? It's what you know. It became a habit. There's going to be a ton of great things about this person. They were probably your best friend, even if they did some things in the end that best friends certainly don't do to each other. But they were probably your everything for a really long time. And so to break away from something or someone that you love is a big ask. It's so hard to walk away from someone we love, but sometimes we have to do just that if this person is not the one that's going to go a lifetime with us. And we know deep down, every time you ask yourself the question about their skill set, their character, deep down you know exactly if this person is for you. But the fear of breaking away from this person is overwhelming. So give yourself a chance to make not only good decisions for yourself, but to not be driven by fear. Don't be driven by fear. And the other thing is, if you want to give this person a chance, 2, 3, 4, only you know when you're done. So don't feel like anybody can drive this for you. You have to make a decision. If you say, I think we can make it, and I'm going to put my heart on the line and go for another chance, go for it. This is your race to run. You're an adult. You're going to make good decisions for yourself. If it doesn't work out, maybe that's the time that you say, okay, I gave them X amount of chances. They just couldn't get there. You're going to exit that relationship a lot more easily. And I don't want to say easy, but with a lot less effort than having to make a decision that doesn't sit right with you. So if you need to say to yourself, I do want to get back in there. I want to try this again. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. You're logical now. Your emotions are still in play, but they're not fully in play. Your heart and your head are slowly coming on the same page right now. So any decision you're going to make, is it going to be the right decision for you? This is a trial and error. There are no right or wrong answers when you're thinking about your next move. What you do is you make the best choice you can in that moment with the information you have. You move in that direction. And then whatever happens, you readjust. You readjust. readjust your steps, change your direction. You can do this as many times as you want to. It's your relationship, it's your life. You have to run your race. So in the end, you can say whether or not I gave them another chance, we worked out, it was great, or I did the best I could. I made every change that I could make. I really evaluated the situation, and they just couldn't get to where I needed them to get to for us to make a healthy relationship work. Because you're looking for a healthy relationship, not just a relationship. This is a big moment. Anybody can settle in a relationship, and anybody can take that step down just to sit in a relationship, so you can say, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Or you can say, I know what I want out of life. I know what I deserve. I know what I'm worthy of. I'm going to stick it out. I'm not going to be afraid of this time by myself, and I'm going to hold on until the right person comes around, or this person and I can become the right partnership together. So this is it for you. This is your 30-day. You make some big decisions here for yourself. Whatever direction you want to go in, whether you want to reach out to them, whether you're waiting for them to reach out to you, or whether you kind of just keep going in this direction until the path presents itself to you, this is your time. I love the quote, and it says, when you don't know what to do, do nothing. Do nothing. And I really believe that. So at this moment, you've done so much work. Now do nothing. Life's path will present itself to you, and things are going to happen for you without you having to move those chess pieces. So day 30, you did it. You freed yourself of that addiction, and now you're free to make really good decisions for yourself that are going to last you a lifetime. So take this moment, pat yourself on the back. You did a great job. It's so hard to do. And now decide whether or not you want to have contact with this person. Communication is really the way. Even if you need a little bit of closure, I truly believe if you can get closure, go get it. I really do. I believe in having the conversations. I believe now you're both in a much better mindset than you were even a month ago. It's going to get even better the more time you have apart. You're going to be coming together with much more of a chance of having a great conversation if that's the way you want to go. So let me just check my notes and see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. And the last part of it is basically, a breakup cracks you wide open, and you got cracked wide open. What did you see? Where do you need to go to heal that kid inside you that is screaming for attention and love and commitment and trustworthiness and consistency? Where do you need to go? Go there. This 30 days was a road back to you. Make the most of that, because this is always going to serve you no matter how it turns out. You finding you're going to be a completely different person. There's no red flag going to get by you now. None. You're going to be fully aware of it, and you're also going to know where you fall short. Do you have trust issues now? Do you put up walls? Do you keep people at arm's length? Where are you hurting? Where do you need help? And you're going to heal in the next relationship, whether it's with this person again or someone else. You can only heal so much on your own. You have to get into the next relationship in enough time. Don't jump right in. But when you get into that next relationship, it's going to be revealed to you what you're still struggling with. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. You bring it up to your person. If you need to say, look, I have a little bit of a trust issue now. I'm well aware, and I'm totally working on it. Has nothing to do with you, but we're going to get through this together. You can be as honest as you need to be. If you need to say to a person, look, I need to hear from you 3 times a day. I really love a good morning text. It makes me feel secure and safe. They're going to do it for you. The right person is going to say, you need it, I got you. Just like you're going to do. If someone comes to you and says, look, I really feel so much better if you check in with me when you get home at night, do it. You're going to want them to feel safe and secure. So what did you learn in these 30 days about you? It's just an amazing journey back to self, and we can't see the blessings in the breakup yet, and we can't learn the lessons yet, but we're starting to. We're starting to understand where this journey of life is taking us, and it's an amazing journey. So keep leveling up, keep bossing up, however you want to call it. Keep doing that on this road and in life, because you're going to do it in relationships. You're going to do it individually. Bring your healthiest you to the next relationship, and hopefully they do as well, so you can have that wonderful relationship. And anywhere you both fall short, be committed and be the kind of person that's like, you know what, I love you, I got this with you, we're doing this together. So keep doing the work, and then I'm going to have a little follow-up on how and when to reach out to an ex if that's the route you want to go. So that'll be coming.